Hey, welcome to this food for thought radiocast where I'm going to be exploring daily peace, learning to receive the next step. This is an integration pack for those currently dealing with a season that keeps recycling the same struggle, stepping out of one hardship only to find another. This integration question that I'll be exploring is part of a integration pack that is freely available to you. All you need to do is follow the link and sign up to the mailing list. You will receive it. It's straight to your inbox and you can explore it, digest it, and integrate it in your own time. The reflections in it come from noticing how deliverance often arrives day by day, not as a single dramatic rescue. Sometimes we don't realize that we've made it out of the hole we were in because we were expecting fireworks, when really it can be such a simple shift. The key is being able to notice it, notice them, and have gratitude for them. And how we are asked to both receive and act on God's daily provision. Receive and act. There's no point acting if you're not acting from receivership, from alignment, and there's no point receiving if you're not going to do anything with it. It needs the combination of the two. Tantra reminds us that consistent small offerings of attention and sound, mantra and breath, reorganize the subtle body so that inspired action becomes possible. So for those who haven't listened or spent time with me before, Tantra is a very prevalent part of my life. I've been studying it for the last 5 years, rather in depth. Oh, I'm enjoying this music. What am I listening to? Let me see if I can find it for you. I think it's Cosmic Shores Murillo, but I'm not 100% certain. But I'm enjoying it. So if it is that, enjoy. Okay, so here I'm basically letting you be a fly on the wall to my practice. I took the integration pack and I used my movement practice to digest it as fully as I could for the time that I afforded. Listened to what came through, opened myself to receivership, and this is me taking action. It's been such a positive shift for my life, and that's why I'm sharing it with you. And I trust that any challenge that you're experiencing right now, even just listening to this, if you take in the mantra, which I'll just share now, Dina Shanti. If that's all you take away from this, Dina Shanti, day, peace. That mantra to just repeat, whether silently or out loud, because mantra vibrates at the frequency of the thing it's pointing to, so you can't help but become it. And if you're expressing peace daily, then that's what you'll find. This practice, this pack, this video is designed to help you practice that daily small exchange of offering, receiving, and acting. So enjoy. I love our outdoor space. I've wanted to work in have a gym space, a movement space adjacent to my work environment. It's one of the reasons I left my corporate job in London. Being tethered to a desk all day and not being able to step away, even just behind it, and play, I didn't enjoy. But here I get to integrate through movement, work through play, and it's a gift to have a space and to have the toys. So today I'm using puzzle mats because they're comfy and delicious. I am using my rings. No weights today. Today's practice, this practice that you're seeing, is an exploration from my morning practice, which was a focus on spine and core. Engaging, yes, rectus abdominis, but also the obliques, also transverse abdominis, and seeing how, when engaging those areas and moving the others, if there's tension, if there's difficulty breathing, if there's difficulty moving, and getting to digest that, massage out those scars consciously through curated movement, whilst massaging my mind through the integration questions. That's really what I view this as, and the work that I do as, is creating bulletproof clarity through reflective questioning. So let's get into it. Integration question for this pack is entitled, "What's today's bread?" What's today's bread? What single thing do you need to ask God for this morning? Then gather, use, and thank Him for today. So you break the loop of replaying old patterns and move intentionally into the next step. For 1 minute, sit and speak aloud, "Lord, what do I need?" Listen for 30 to 60 seconds in silence, breathing slowly, and name one practical thing that pops into mind that you can gather or do today. A conversation, a small task, a boundary, forgiveness, whatever it might be. Pause. Okay, unpause. And then do that thing within the next hour. Thank you. Do that thing within the next hour. Close by saying thank you aloud and record one sentence about what shifted. So I'm going to facilitate that for you as you watch me unpack the puzzle mats and set up the space. I'm going to invite you for the next minute to sit. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to set yourself up. To sit for a minute and speak out loud, "Lord, what do I need today? Lord, what do I need today?" Okay, last 10 seconds to set yourself up if you're joining for the adventure, otherwise see what comes through in the interim. Okay, 3, 2, 1, enjoy. Lord, what do I need today? 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 And for the next minute, tune into your breath, breathing slowly, Allow the belly to expand and contract. The rib cage to expand and contract. Maybe repeating the mantra, Dina Shanti. And then an invitation to just speak for the next minute. Name something that came through that wasn't there before. Write it down. Move with it. Here I'm doing some circular movements to open up through the lats, to open up through the spine, now opening up across the front chest, a little back bend. Trying to find a neutrality through the thoracic spine. And I'm doing some cat-cow variations. Little false grip action here. Planche with the hands. A little bit of hip mobility to see what's going on. Trying to find movement through the spine. Little up dog. Little down dog. Noticing tightness in the shoulders. Child's pose. Just playing with that, seeing what movement I have through the spine. Through the scapula. Through the hips. Seeing how breathing changes as I move. Freeing it up a little bit. Just playing with it. I notice for me when my arms are overhead, I'm not quite in forward flexion of the shoulder. And there's tightness through the rib cage, through the body. And I think that's the scapula not gliding over the rib cage in a certain area. And so there's an area that I'm not breathing into in my back. And it's creating a knock-on effect and discomfort in other areas. So something to consider there if you're finding some pain in between your shoulder blades. See if you can breathe into the space. Okay, so if you did write down something, just do that thing within the next hour. Press pause, come back to the video later, and go and do the thing that you've been inspired to do. And don't forget by closing by saying thank you out loud and recording one sentence about what shifted. I'll share mine at the end. So this practice, the Daily Gather, it's called in the integration pack. Sitting for a minute, asking what you need, listening in silence and stillness, naming what was presented to you, and then taking action by doing something within a defined time frame, as well as saying thank you out loud and integrating the shift with a written action. This ties offerer, hearing, and embodied action into one repeatable micro ritual. So if that's all you do every day, every time you have a challenge, then it will serve you. The challenge is being able to identify your thoughts, which are fueled by the scars of our past, our anthology of scars, or if it's a thought that came from God, came from the divine, came from inspiration, came from love, the heart. That's the challenge. That's what I'm sharing with Bulletproof Clarity, actually, is discernment, letting go of the thoughts that aren't yours and aren't helpful, and tuning into the ones that are. Okay, so the embodiment mantra, Dina Shanti. Dina meaning day, and Shanti meaning peace. So here I'm playing with the rings. I've set myself a very big goal, a dream of mine, to be able to do an iron cross on rings. And so I'm incorporating that position and movements. So this is essentially like a reverse lever with the arm position into this iron cross position, squatted iron cross. I'm getting movement through my shoulders, seeing where limitations are and engaging the core, because that is the focus for today's practice. Sometimes I forget. It's nice to be reminded. See, I would try and go, I needed to go wider with the arms to come more into flexion to create that handstand line, because I've got tightness through the shoulders. Interesting. Okay, so there's a mobility issue through the scapula, and for me, how the scapula, the shoulder blade, glides across the rib cage. There's a limitation there, something perhaps not firing. So something to consider when you do arm movements, where you're breathing into, I find is very helpful. And as is, I'm going to reset this music. I've got 45 minutes. I'm going to put 45 minutes on the clock for me. Oh yeah. Okay, there we go. I haven't got 45 minutes. I've got half an hour. Okay, half an hour. I'm listening to music at the same time. It really helps me focus, like I do with my practice. It grounds me with a consistent beat. I'm listening to 4-beat music, which is from my teacher, one of my teachers in London, Marcus Vader. If you are in London, even if you're not in London, if you're into yoga and if you're into things like Ashtanga and Rocket and you want to incorporate music into your teachings in a very beautiful way, I'd go check out Marcus. He's DJ turned yoga teacher, so his music is on point. At least I enjoyed it. Okay, so back to the mantra, Dina Shanti. Repeat Dina Shanti on the out breath a few times when you wake or when the loop begins. You find yourself stuck. The first word focuses attention on the present day, Dina, what is given now, while the second word calls for the felt quality you want, peace, Shanti. In tantric practice, focused syllables carried on breath, nada, and steady attention, prana, clear subtle channel congestion, nadis, dissolving the frantic charge that keeps you looping. Okay, so a little breakdown. In tantric philosophy, if you will, there are something called nadis, which are these channels in the body. Personally, I see them in alignment to the nervous system. They're not the blood. They were something more than that they picked up on before we had this technology to do imagery. And for me, in my mind, nadis are the nervous system. And what happens is, as we navigate through the world, our nervous system responds, reacts to whatever's happening. And sometimes, whilst energy is supposed to just flow freely through us, it gets stuck in these nadis, in these channels, and creates congestion. Think of it like clogged pipes. And so what's necessary is to clear the pipes. And the way to do that is to digest that prana, that energy. And we can do that through vibration, which is carried on the breath. And that's for the value of mantra. It vibrates us into clarity. And in doing so, dissolves the frantic charge that keeps us looping, keeps us stuck. When we let go of the scars of our past, smooth them over, it creates a clear space for energy to flow through, and we can see and view the world clearly. And that's the bulletproof clarity that I'm speaking on. Over repeated small uses, the mantra trains your nervous system to accept daily provision as safe and to let go of yesterday's moldy bread. What have I got? A blindfold. I love a blindfold practice to be able to drop into my body and not be distracted by the world around me. I had a thought come through and I wanted to write it down before I dropped in. Then I came back to the mantra, which was Dina Shanti, and then repeat that a few times before I dropped into my practice. This idea of yesterday's moldy bread. So Stephen, who is Elevation Church, whose sermon I was enjoying, and this integration pack is designed to digest, he spoke into this idea of moldy bread, that in the Bible, Jesus teaches us how to pray, how to connect to God, how to seek support, how to be delivered. And the way to do that is to accept daily provision. Give us this day our daily bread, which means to reconnect with God at the start of the day, daily, essentially as often as you can, to get the next step. Because if you're acting on information that is outdated, then what you do will suffer. You'll be behind the times, man, and you'll get left behind, and you'll create suffering and dissatisfaction in life because you're nourishing on moldy bread. You're acting on outdated information. Because as we navigate the world, our unconscious gathers information without us even realizing. I'm speaking to you, dropping into the practice. Here it is. I wanted to know the mantra, Dina Shanti. As we navigate the world, our subconscious gathers information. It can't not. It's designed to do that. It gets stored in our hard drive of the subconscious mind. Our conscious mind is our thinking mind. The thinking mind being the thing we're putting our focus towards. It's limited. And so what's required of us, or is pertinent to us, we'd be remiss to not do. Here I'm in a lying down iron cross position, and I'm doing some shoulder mobility as well as spine movement. So drawing the belly button in, lifting the hips, letting the weight of the legs be supported by the rings, finding that iron cross position, trying to get that neutral spine. There we go, active. I'm pressing into the ground with my arms, but then finding movement through my spine. Doing a little bit of hip movement as well. So there we go, getting a little bit of loosening through the hips, a little bit of mobilization, a little bit of energy freeing. Any injuries, any stuckness creates dis-ease through the body. And so getting to exercise it out creates clarity. It allows that energy to move freely through us. So this idea of sitting with God, sitting in stillness and silence, is the opportunity to tap into our subconscious mind, which has gathered more information through living our life that day. And there's likely, potentially, especially if we've put attention towards it, an answer in there that will help us take the next step. And so checking in frequently, at least daily, will inform us on how to take action in the world that day to bring into being the thing we've asked support for and desire to manifest into. Tantra places high value on daily embodied practice. Mantra, breath, and ritual are not grand theatre, but precise instruments. The pattern here is the tantric threefold path reversed into daily life. Offer your need, shrine the struggle in prayer, receive the descent of clarity or bread, open to subtle cues, and embody it through small, faithful actions. Gather your portion. This micro-discipline rewires habitual responses. Sound calms the nervous system. Breath steadies the attention. And the small action proves receptivity. Over time, the subtle body reorganizes, so insight is not just an idea, but a felt capacity. Over time, the subtle body reorganizes, so insight is not just an idea, but a felt capacity. Dina Shanti. What am I doing? Bridge. Okay, so I recognize that wheel isn't something I've done, wheel pose, in a long time because of the shoulder and hip flexor adductor injury. So I'm here playing in a supported position, so my knees, my thighs are being supported by the rings. See what's going on here. See, look at the way my spine moves. I've got a lot of low back mobility, they're core active, and then going the other way. So I'm kind of doing like cat cows, and then I go onto the top of the head. I'm trying to get that squeeze through the arms. There it is, thank you. And it's pushing into this position that has felt stuck for me. There's a strength that I'm lacking. Okay, so we've gone into a front lever-like position here. Aha, so bicep curls. I'm trying to really, yes, use the bicep, but then lift into shoulder flexion. And that's what I'm activating here. I'm looking to get into shoulder flexion, but not compromise the spine. See that neutrality. Trying to reach those rings back while squeezing the shoulders together and release. Okay, I've got 15 minutes to get through this pack. I'm seeing where is tight or where is weak. See, I've got good mobility. That's essentially a back lever. Okay, so in the integration pack, the next thing is a letter. Subject heading, how to receive the next thing daily. Dear adventurer, you keep getting out of one thing only to find yourself in another through. That loop from, through, to, turns sideways, feels like a conveyor belt of tests. So Stephen was speaking into how the story of Moses and how the Israelites were saved from the tyranny of Egypt, but didn't find themselves in the promised land, but in the desert. Though they celebrated leaving the tyranny of Egypt as the promised land, but they didn't see it as that. And because of that, they didn't thank God for it. And because of that, they didn't pray with God. And because of that, they didn't hear what to do next. And that's why, rather than, Stephen says, scholars believe it should only have taken them 3 weeks to traverse the desert, it took them 40 years. Because they weren't tuned into God, they became complacent. They had to go through looping challenge and suffered for it. The sermon I was with, Stevens, called it plainly: God gives food, forgiveness and freedom day by day. He doesn't intend for yesterday's bread to be your lunch for next week. So the work is simple and stubborn. Show up each morning, ask for what you need that day, and gather what's given and say thank you. That saying thank you, it's not because God is conceited, it's because it grounds you in your humanity, your humility. Without saying thank you, you think you're God and you think you know better and you don't check in. You get lost in the loop of conscious thought rather than tapped into unconscious potential, the infinite that exists within you, not external, though it can be impacted, influenced and supported externally. It exists within you. It's just a case of digesting, smoothing over the scars of the mind to have bulletproof clarity. And it's a skill. It's not easy. Believe me. Oh, back at it. Yes, bicep curls. I think I've had enough. Needed to take a breath. And I'm out. Oh, here we go. Nally Kriya. Vacuum pack the stomach, pull it in, activation of TVA. I didn't do any tumble dryers. I'll add that in tomorrow. Just doing a quick check to see what I'm experiencing. Playing with internal, external shoulder rotation. Right side internal rotation is a lot tighter than the left. Probably because the front is a lot tighter. Maybe the back. Something to figure out. I like to play with those alternates. I did that this morning. That was part of the practice. So what I'm doing is a playful expression of my morning practice, which was 45 minutes. And if you're wanting that, join the collective, because that's where I share that. Or sometimes I do, what am I calling them? Clarity jams. Keep an eye out for those. Okay, back to the letter. I've got 10 minutes. There's grace in the small. Deliverance is sometimes ice cream after the sea parting, sometimes the quiet nudge to take one faithful step. Don't confuse dramatic rescue with faithful rhythm. Tantra helps here. Use breath and sound to slow the looping mind. That's the value of mantra. It's the value of breathwork practice. Present your struggle as an offering. Receive the small next thing and act. That sequence, offer, empower, embody, teaches your body that God's provision is both real and trustworthy. Offer, empower, embody. This is the threefold path. I'll not have time to explain that now, but I might do a video for it. But actually, the videos I'm doing right now, they kind of speak into that. Okay. If you've been stuck by your scars, listen now to the source, which can be difficult. That requires discernment, requires wisdom. Ask not only what you want for the far future, but what you need for today. Gather that daily bread. Practice gratitude for the small rescue, and the loop will falter. It's not that God can't get you out. He can. You can. But often what needs changing is the thing But often what needs changing is the thing in you that keeps recreating the same trap. Let morning prayer be your daily deliverance. I'm going to repeat that again because I've left that line. It's not that God can't get you out. He can. You are God. You can. But often, what needs changing is the thing in you that keeps recreating the same trap. Let morning prayer be your daily deliverance. Essentially, if you're struggling, spend time in prayer. It will create change. The speed of that change depends on the clarity that you embody. If you're wanting bulletproof clarity, you need to essentially create create an aligned dictionary between you and God. Blank. So I had my hands not usually how I'd have my hands. It's like the outside of the ring rather than inside. It was a very different experience. I'd recommend trying it. So grabbing on the outside rather than inside. A little spinal movement, seeing what's available to me. Okay. So this sense of moving freely through life, actually, I'll share with you in the remaining few minutes part of my integration. So Tantra says that true movement begins with stillness. Asking for divine guidance is not a sign of weakness, but a mark of sovereignty. The conscious mind humbling itself before the intuitive wisdom of the heart. When we forgive, we dissolve karmic residue and restore prasa to the field of action. Peace is not passive. It is powerful in the most receptive form. Okay, so I'm going to share with you my one sentence, acknowledging that one sentence about what shifted is part of the daily gathering practice. I'd like to share mine with you. Asking is opening. Listening is receiving. Action is the bridge that transforms belief into embodiment. One more time. Asking is opening. Listening is receiving. Action is the bridge that transforms belief into embodiment. Today reminded me that the wisdom I seek is already within me, waiting for stillness to awaken it. By asking aloud, listening deeply, and acting quickly, I shift from looping in fear to moving in faith. The practice is simple: surrender, receive, respond. Ask aloud, listen deep, act quick. Peace is not the absence of action, but the alignment of it. Dina Shanti. Okay, so thank you, if you're still with me, for joining me on this journey as I share with you my integration practice and this week's integration pack. If you would like the full experience, you can have it for free. All you need to do is sign up to my correspondence list and it will be delivered direct to your inbox. If you're curious about Bulletproof Clarity or Clarity Jams, you can join our community WhatsApp group. And if you're not sure how to do that, follow the links and you'll find the next step. For the next 4 minutes, I'm going to let this play in silence. I do a little movement practice myself. You can enjoy that. Or take this time to sit in stillness, in silence. Ask. Listen